pragtige dames met my in die studio in die ateljee. Ek het vir Guilma en vir Lady P soos ek vroeër gesê het, maar dan het ons ook vir Reinette en it's so exciting en so nice om vir
Hallo,
Reinette te sien.
Reinette.
Reinette, kan jy vir ons hoor?
Ja, ek kan julle kan julle my hoor?
Daar word ons jou nou.
Hallo Reinette.
Is julle nou daar?
Yes,
Hi guys. Hi Kevin.
dankie dat jy saam met ons kuier vandag Reinette. Ons waardeer jou verskriklik. En ek weet dat jy nie kan wag om stories met ons te deel, maar ons wil net eers weet hoe het jy by ons beland destyds? Vertel vir ons luisteraars.
Oh, dit was 'n long story. I'm going to speak in English.
Yes, by all means continue.
Yeah, this was about 7 or 8 years ago. I would say closer to 8. We went on a medium because I was with God TV at the time, and we went to like a something at the Aria, and I ended up sitting next to Vanda, and we've always known about each other and been always in the media, but not really getting to know each other. And it was an opportunity for us to chat. And then she said to me, so I just said to her, do you have like something like a family program or anything to do with psychology, things that people are going through? And so she said to me, you know what, come and chat to me on Monday. And the rest is history. So that's how we started the program. Yeah, it was so amazing. And it was the last thing on my bucket list that I had any inclination of ever wanting to do was to be in front of a camera or a mic or anything of the sort. So such an amazing start.
Reinette, being part of the psychology journey that you had the privilege of speaking to so many people and you have so many stories. Don't you want to share some with us?
I can tell you now. I can tell you so many amazing, amazing stories. But one of my favorite was Shepherd Parley. I discovered him one day just at a coffee. It was called The Gangster coffee shop in Durbanville, and we were just chatting. And when I looked at what the whole gangster movement was about, it was literally this company that had given ex-prisoners an opportunity to start to learn how to be baristas and all that type of thing, and then gave them an opportunity to work in the coffee shops. And little as we spoke, this young man just got my heart, and he told me his story, and the fact that he actually was an ex-drug mule and traveled overseas a lot, carrying drugs. And he literally gave his life to the Lord in 1 week, but he did one more trip and got caught on that last trip. He knew he shouldn't have done it, but he did it anyway. But he says God had to catch him to set him free.
Wow.
He had to be caught to be set free. And I've had him almost every year. I couldn't resist it because he has just grown as this amazing, successful young man. He's running his own barista organization, training other baristas. Out of this he spent 10 years, he could not read and write. And he spent 10 years in jail. But guess what? Radio Pulpit kept him on the straight and narrow. As he listened every day, was the one form of media that kept him going throughout that time. And so that was his story, and he was just such an inspiration to me. And today he's happily married and he's so successful in everything that he does.
Wow.
Yeah, he's definitely a must. I tell you now. And every year with his growth, he's just the most humblest, sold out for the Lord man of God. So he's amazing. So he was one of my favorite interviews.
Yeah. How amazing this is. Reinette, I was just saying earlier how it's just beautiful for me to sit here as a newcomer, if I can put it that way. I'm sitting here Ook al is hy mos 'n kort sokkie. Nou bietjie dag aangekom.
Bietjie
But
dag.
just to be able to sit here and just to listen to you guys speaking, sharing a few days now at Guilma as well. Just to be able to sit and listen to you guys reminiscing about the past few years, over the past 13 years, and to listen even to testimonies like you just mentioned now about this guy. It's amazing, and just to see what God has been doing throughout the life of Radio Cape Pulpit. And for me, I'm just honored to be a part of this move of God.
Amen.
Yeah, no, definitely, Guilma, definitely.
I'm always wondering, when we were talking about being on air earlier on, and you said that you had no idea, that God is going to call you for this. What have you discovered about yourself that you didn't know when God gave you this platform?
Wow, let me tell you something now. Don't ever, I will tell you what I discovered about myself. It was the most incredible time of my life, in the sense that don't ever be careful what you call your ministry or your program
Yeah.
or your, because my program was called Rise.
Yeah.
And I had to rise every week. I had to rise through so many things, but I could rise because of my program.
Thank you, Lord.
And it kept me through very dark times. It kept me through, and yet when I stepped in that studio and I had these amazing guests, I can tell you now, it was like God showed up every single time.
Yeah.
Holy Spirit rocked in those studios, and I will never ever forget my time there. And the confidence within myself was amazing. Just the most amazing family. I loved my Radio Pulpit, Cape Pulpit family. Each and everyone meant so much to me. And I value my time with Radio Pulpit as one of my greatest personal journeys.
Wow.
As a beautiful part of my
You
life.
mentioned something about a name. We were talking earlier about
yes.
names and the importance for God, how important names are to God, and that nothing is just by accident. So Rise was specifically earmarked for you to speak into your life, because where you're going now is just an extension of the foothold that God gave you here.
Absolutely. And I realized the confidence, and not just the confidence, and just the understanding of being out there. I'm now not so much in sight of people and in the public eye, but the Lord is using my voice, the power of my voice,
Come on.
for other reasons, for what His purpose has placed me for. So the Lord, I just knew this wasn't the end of something, but it was a continuation of using my voice.
That's the beauty of it.
And for the, so my voice has just never lost its place, but it's just shifted its focus. So I'm really, really grateful for the time that I spent at the radio.
And it was a privilege having you here. Not that she's out of our mind,
No,
out of
never.
sight, out of mind, because I still contact her.
Yeah.
We're going to have an amazing interview for 2 weeks in a row coming with guests that you recommended regarding the
Sure.
gender violence. Amazing people that she's well connected, this lady.
Yes, she is.
And she keeps on helping us to feed the information, because it's all about networking. Reinette, people because of your connections, and we feed from you
That's
to
right.
share with the people out there, because it's all about education, training, and helping people to be informed about things. We have a wonderful contributor, Michael Bagram. He's a Jewish gentleman, but he loves Radio Cape Pulpit. He's been one of our earliest contributors, where he helps with the labor law, for example. And he always offers our listeners and everybody that is linked to Cape Pulpit and say that they are from Cape Pulpit, they heard him there, that initial email regarding the labor law. Sometimes you don't know where to go, what direction to follow. Do you have a solid case? Don't you? And this is top-notch people like you also have had in your program, Reinette, and people that's in
Absolutely, the most
they
amazing guest.
legislating the laws
Wow.
of that governs us here in the
Yeah,
Western Cape regarding the labor law. So those people are fighting for us on the ground, and he is making himself available for us.
Wow.
And you know what happened? Why he is so fond of us? It's a very simple thing that happened one day. And I started doing interviews with him, and I then said to him, Michael, may I come and have a cup of coffee with you? I would like to, because at that stage he was interested in Russia, and I've been to Russia and I worked out a plan. I said, can I share my Russian journey with you? Then maybe I can help you and point you in the right direction, because Russia is confusing. It's a very big country. Go over 20 zones if you want to go from one place to another. And I had to find it out the hard way, going from one side to the other. Siberia to Moscow to whatever. And we met for a cup of coffee, and he said something very profound. He said, it's the first time ever that a radio journalist from a radio station go through the effort of meeting me, thanking me for our contribution, and wanting to meet me eye to eye. And that's where the bond was formed for Radio Cape Pulpit.
Well
Not
done.
because I'm so cute or whatever, but you know what it's about. I listened to when God said to me, go and meet him. It's not me.
That's the beauty.
But it opened the channels because we reached out and we showed that they are important to us as individuals, because they're also human.
Yeah.
Whoever is in a high position, they still want to be seen and they're human.
Ja. How beautiful is
Sure.
that? Hoor nou daar.
She's a real kingdom ambassador. Because Reinette, it's Philippine. How are you?
She
So
can
nice,
see you.
nice to hear your voice. Reinette, sure, I remember the times that we spent together when I met you. That, you opened so many doors for me as well, connecting me to lovely people. And I am still in touch with them. If I think of Pastor Angelo Olsen and all the other people, I had him here as my guest in studio as well.
I know.
So, I will never forget about those doors that you opened. It wasn't just about you, but it was about the kingdom. So may God bless you on your new journey. On your new journey.
Thank you.
Reinette,
I love you all.
Before
I
we
miss you, but I love you.
we miss you terribly. So before we say goodbye and play out for the news at 5, can you leave us with a thought? Our theme is wisdom today. It's Wisdom Wednesday. Can you leave us with something special?
Yeah. Well, I can tell you now, that is the one thing I pray for every day of my life. Because I am also, psychologist and counselor and life coach, and I pray for wisdom, because that supersedes knowledge at any time. You can have head knowledge, you can have experience, you can have it. If you don't have wisdom and you seek it, and you have the privilege of connecting to people in a way that nobody else can, and when nobody else can, and you can be there at 3:00 in the morning. You need to have the wisdom of God, and because it's such a responsibility to be on air. It is such a responsibility. And when you are speaking into people's lives, you need to have the wisdom of the Lord. So
Amen.
ask for wisdom before you open your mouth, or you invite a guest. That was one thing I did. I always asked for wisdom when I invited people on air. I just didn't choose anybody. I had only 52 chances a year, and I made sure. I probably regretted 2 in the 8 years. Not regret, 2 in the 8 years. And each and every person that came onto my program, I realized was by the wisdom of God and the purpose and planning by Him only. And I can tell you, even for them, it was ministries that began to bloom after they'd been on the air, or organizations that got onto the map. So understand the value that you are on that side of the mic.
Wow.
Who you are. you the conduit to somebody else's greatness. And God's wisdom needs to be used in these times. We have to be very discerning. So that's my last bit.
We don't want to let you go.
Reinette, thank you so
Thank
much. Thank you so much for that. Even that last bit,
Sure.
you've really
Always.
you really spoke to me now. Even that last bit that encouraged me and inspired me. Yo, ek voel om aan te gaan, mense.
Sure.
Ja, thank you, Reinette. Thank you.
Thanks, Reinette.
Love you, Reinette.
Yeah, from all of us here, we love you,
Guys,
and we miss you.
Take care, and you're always in my heart and my prayers.
Awesome.
Bye.
Awesome. Listeners, that was Reinette.
Bye.
Bye, Reinette. Listeners.